5 steps to finally stop falling off the diet wagon. And if I could ask one thing of you before we dive in, that's to watch this undistracted so that you get the most out of it. So, this is the exact 5 steps and the exact system that these 3 clients and many more have used to finally find consistency and to lose that weight forever. So, step one is stop expecting perfection. And I'm going to tell you what to do now instead. But everybody goes into a diet and they think, or a health and fitness plan, they say, I want to make a change. That's why anyone starts, because they want something to change. And most people start with this: the change must be perfect. And this is how you get stuck in the perfection or the all or nothing cycle. Perfection is impossible and a mistake is inevitable. So once that one mistake happens, people tend to let it completely wipe out their progress. Oh, sure, I've ruined it now. There's no point. And that could be down to being in the perfectionist mindset, or it could be down to not understanding how nutrition works. And I'll expand on that in a tip in a few minutes. Once that mistake happens, people will beat themselves up. I'm a failure. I'll just give up completely. There's no point. And then they'll go off the rails for a while until they finally work up the motivation to start again. But they'll start again the exact same way and get stuck in that cycle. So what can you do instead? You can forget the mistake, but remember the lesson. And another kind of bonus tip and a mistake that people make is, I'll just start fresh. You don't need to start fresh, because then you're going to make the same mistakes you've always made. So let's use the weekend as an example. Let's imagine someone Friday morning starts off really well, and then Friday night you end up having a takeaway, and takeaway leads to a couple of drinks or maybe loads of snacks, and you massively overconsume. Then you think, oh, I've ruined it now. No point starting again till Monday. So what you actually need to do is, well, not wait till Monday, but let's go even further back than that. If Friday night is where it went wrong, what happened in the lead up to that? What can we learn from that Friday? Well, maybe breakfast started well, but then you had a massive gap by the time you got to eat in the evening, and you were just so hungry you were going to murder someone. You ended up going with the easiest possible option, a takeaway. And once you had a takeaway, your mind was in snowball motion already. So how can you avoid that in future? Well, I can make sure that I have lunch, or I bring snacks with me. Or if you know that Friday is going to be a busy day for you, maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, you prepare extra food when you're cooking dinner. You make an extra portion and you put that in Tupperware and keep that for Friday lunchtime. So thinking ahead will help you. So look at mistakes when they happen, and then try and figure out what led to that mistake. Okay. And if you solved that problem on Friday, all of a sudden your weekend looks completely different. Okay. So forget the mistake. Don't beat yourself up about it, but do learn from it. Don't start fresh, and try to develop an all or something mindset, not all or nothing. Okay. So if you can't, and you can apply that to a walk or a workout or whatever. If you can't get a half an hour walk in, well, 10 minutes is still worth doing. So step 2, stop giving up your favorite foods. And this is what I mentioned earlier. This could be where people are also stuck in the perfectionist mindset, and where they let one mistake ruin their progress. Is the wrong way to think about food is how we were all raised to think about food, that these are bad foods and these are good foods. But when you do that, when you tell us that these are bad foods and they're forbidden, or you need to sin them or anything along those lines, what happens is you psychologically want those more. We all turn into bold kids again, myself included. And if you try and cut them out completely, you're just going to want them and want them and want them until it ends in a binge. It's only a matter of time. So what can you do instead of doing this? How do you get out of this mindset? Well, the first thing is to stop labeling foods. So don't call them good or bad or cheats or treats or junk or crap. Just call foods by their name. Chocolate is chocolate. Biscuits are biscuits. Veggies are veggies. Like, don't label foods. Just call them what they are. And shift your mindset to the right way to think about food. And that's that some foods are more nutritious and lower in calories, typically, like vegetables and fruit. And then other foods are less nutritious and typically higher in calories, like donuts or chocolates or jellies or pizza or that sort of stuff. But there's loads of foods that fill the gap. It's not an either or. And you're not being good or being bad if you have either one. We want the majority, so like 85 to 90% of your food intake, to come from the more nutritious stuff. That's lower in calories. And because it's lower in calories, you can physically eat more of it because there's less calories. Like if you had 100 calories of chocolate and 100 calories of vegetables, the vegetables would physically be way more food. So we want 85 to 95% of your food to come from lean meats, chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, oats, potatoes, rice, nuts, seeds, fruits, veggies, that sort of stuff that's not really heavily processed. but still 10% every single day can come from chocolate or crisps or jellies. You do have to control the portion though, because they're higher in calories. But stop trying to cut out your favorite foods, because it's probably the reason for a lot of you that you can't stay on track. Step 3 is control your calories. The most important factor in nutrition is controlling your calories. And I'm going to make this incredibly simple. Every single person in the world has a number, and it doesn't mean you have to count calories. You can count calories if you want, but there are portion control methods and other methods. But every single person in the world has an amount of calories they need to consume consistently to maintain their weight. Let's imagine for someone that's 2,000 calories a day. So this person, let's say me, if I eat 2,000 calories every single day, I'll stay the weight I am now. If anyone wants to lose weight, so if I wanted to lose weight, I would need to consume less calories than my body needs to stay the same weight. So I'd need to consume less than 2,000 calories. So let's say I ate 1,500 a day consistently, I would lose weight. If I ate 2,000 a day consistently, I'd stay the same weight. And if I ate more than 2,000 a day, I would gain weight. Now, I just made those numbers up, but you get the idea, hopefully, that the total amount of food is the most important factor. So if I'm eating 2,000 calories a day and I'm eating all vegetables, I won't lose any weight. If I'm eating, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to eat clean, but they don't take into account total food or total calories. You can eat 2,000 calories a day and eat nothing but vegetables. You won't lose any weight. And if you eat more than 2,000 calories a day, if those numbers are right for you, those are just made up numbers, not specific to anyone. So if you're eating 2,000, if I'm eating 2,200 calories a day and it's all vegetables, I'll gain weight because I'm eating more than my body needs to stay the same weight. That is the most important factor. So whether you track calories, use an app like MyFitnessPal or something, or NutriCheck, or use a portion control method, that is something you absolutely do have to be aware of. Step 4 is going to be plan ahead. And yes, I know it's boring. It's not exciting, but the longer you try to wing it, the longer you are going to be frustrated. And at the very least, the longer you're going to be making your life a hell of a lot more difficult. I got way too PG there. So plan in when you're going to get your workouts in. Plan in when you're going to get your walks in. And again, remember, all or something, not all or nothing. So if you have a workout planned for Monday morning at 6 a.m. and you have to do something at 6:30 or 7, whether it's leave for work or wake up kids or do whatever, and you don't wake up at 6, you hit the snooze, you don't even remember hitting the snooze button, and you're getting up at 6:15 now, a lot of people would think, oh, it's not worth it. Still go downstairs, get in whatever you can. The same with walks. It doesn't have to be 45 minutes or an hour to be worthwhile. Get what you can in. And for most people, when it comes to walks, getting 10 to 15 minutes is much more reasonable. And doable throughout your day. Your body doesn't care if you do a 60-minute walk or do 4 15-minute walks. It can't tell the difference. Now, headspace wise, I understand why some people like an hour walk, but schedule wise, for a lot of people, it's not realistic. So think about when you can get workouts in, put them in your diary like they're doctor's appointments. Think about when you can get walks in. And even if it's a case of 10 minutes before you start work, 10 minutes on your lunch break, 10 minutes before you leave work to go home, or when you get home, don't go in the house, get 10 minutes in. Think about your day strategically. And then meals. So be smart, plan ahead. At the very least, plan tomorrow's food. Start each meal with a protein source, because we know protein is going to keep you full. Bonus tip again. It's going to keep you feeling full for much longer, and it's going to help you with building muscle, which absolutely everybody wants for longevity and health reasons. But also people say they want to tone up, and all that means is build muscle and then lose enough body fat to see the muscle and shape that you've developed. So planning ahead. And step 5 is support and accountability. So whether you use your friends, maybe you have friends who also want to be more consistent, start a WhatsApp group, even if it's you and one other friend, and make a deal that you're going to check in at the end of each day, no matter how it goes, good or bad. Maybe it's maybe you go to the gym already and you start a group with your gym buddies to help improve your nutrition. Maybe you use family. Maybe you use a partner or someone who's living with you and say, listen, this is what I want to do. Can you check in with me every single day? Set a reminder on your phone and ask Maddie how his diet went or how his whatever went, and use those people to your advantage. Or sign up to a program and get some support and help from a coach who's helped loads of people get there already. So you now know how these 3 clients and many more finally found consistency using those 5 steps. So stop aiming for perfection. Stop giving up your favorite foods. Control your total amount of food, aka calories. There are lots of ways to do that. And plan ahead. and get some support and accountability. So if these steps sound like something that you feel like you need help with, or this is exactly speaking to you, that you struggle with all of these things, you can join L.I.F.E for just €12 per week. So please click the link below if you're interested and you'd like some extra support and help. And hopefully I will see you guys soon. If anyone has any follow-up questions on this, please do not be afraid to send me a message.